page 131, if any of you are reading along in Vertical Causation. Events are perceived, Gibson assures us. And to enable us to comprehend this prodigy, he goes on to point out that there is no dividing line between the present and the past, between perceiving and remembering. Now, this is very deep and tantamount, I take it, to the ontological fact that the present is not a part of time, as Aquinas declares. What is it then, that elusive present? It proves to be none other than what the scholastics termed the nunc stans, or the now that stands. And where else in the final count can the perception of events take place than in this nunc stans? Herein, then, in this very recognition, resides the key to the enigma. What ultimately enables the perception of events, the perception of motion, is the fact that the primary percipient, it would be me or you, resides in the nunc stans, which in truth is none other than eviternity. So we talked about this a little bit before we came online, that the now is always past. The minute I say now, that word is already in your heads and it's in the past. So, and the future hasn't happened yet at any moment. So the now itself is somehow not in time. There's no time in the now because there's no place for the now to be, since if the past is past and the future hasn't come yet. So Wolfgang is making the point that the now is eviternity.
Wow.
So when I'm doing my perceiving in the now, my now moment of perceiving, I'm actually in eviternity. So after reading this chapter, I'm gonna try to put this in my own words, okay? I think what he's saying is that in the same way that the quantum enigma, the measuring device has to be on another ontological level than what is being measured. That measuring device is measuring, and then when the measurement takes place, those particles come into the corporeal realm, right? If I just took that at face value, it would sound somehow as though I, as an observer, have some sort of power over existence. When I observe something, it comes into existence. I mean, this is one of the reasons that Einstein fought against this idea, because he said, are you trying to say that the moon is not there when I'm not looking at it?
Yeah.
Right? But I think what Wolfgang is saying is that when I'm in the now, I'm in this nunc stans, and I am actually at any given moment of now, that is my connection to eviternity. But at the other end of that connection is the eternal observer, the eternal witness of events. So the only way that reality comes into being for me at any moment is that my now and his now are the same, and we're connected, and then the world comes into existence for me. Much in what the scripture says, speaking of Christ, it says, in him all things hold together.
Yeah. All being.
It's not an accidental statement.
No.
In him all things consist. Doesn't even mean hold together. It means they consist. So existence comes into being in him at every moment in time. And I think that what Wolfgang is saying is, my moment of perceiving is in the eviternal, connected to his eternal witness, his holding all things together in consistence. Consistent, coherent wholes coming from him in the eviternal realm.
Yeah. So we're giving wholeness, we're giving being. Well, let's say we're perceiving wholes.
Yes.
In the corporeal domain, because we are attached to the intermediary, and thus the eviternal plane.